I know you're not feeling well, huh? It's in the hospital. Stressed. I know. So we've got 103 fever. Just some weird symptoms. Running a CBC, urine test, an x-ray. Excuse my face. Stressed? Hormones? Yeah. I look like a teenager. Oh, and the doctor, when we first got here, he was like, oh, she's so cute when he saw her face. And then when he was walking down the hallway, he was like, said some, what did he say? Even with downs, she's still cute. Dude, like really? No. Oh, you are so sweet, even when you don't feel good. So we've had throw up this morning, fever all night long, not eating anything. Excuse my face. I'm not even gonna try. Because this is real. Yeah. So, this is what happened. Let's rewind, let's say 2 months, maybe. I'm doing this to like distract you from how horrible I look. If you're focused on my horrible hair, maybe you won't notice my horrible face. Okay, so actually, funny story, January 1st, I took a pregnancy test because weird symptoms. I was like, but there's no way. Like, literally, there's no way. And then one of the reasons I took it was because my sense of smell, I felt like was heightened, and I could just smell things other people couldn't, and that's usually how I am when I'm pregnant. For instance, every morning when I walk into Adeline's room, it just smells like a pee box. Like, because of her low muscle tone, because she has Down syndrome, her hypotonia, she can't control her bladder very well, which is why potty training is a lot harder and just longer, and I don't know. Maybe we'll never be able to be potty trained. I don't know. I'm being a little dramatic. But she pees all night long. Like, and she drinks a ton of water, like, all day, even when she's not sick. She just loves water. She, like, asks for it all day long. Lots of juices and fruits and veggie juices and smoothies, and she just drinks all day long. So at night, she pees when she's, like, sleeping. And when I wake up in the morning, it's like her room smells like, I walk in the door and it's just like a waft of pee. And it's like a really bad smelling pee. At least I thought so. Brian never noticed. Yeah, so, and her diapers are always like soaking wet in the mornings, like overly full. Like, you just went swimming. So, because of that, she has a UTI, which is like only 8% of kids get UTIs. Sorry, no sleep. And the infection is like really severe. So they don't know kind of like how bad it is. So they're trying a bunch of different antibiotics and like testing it on a blood culture. And like if it works on the blood culture, then we stick with this antibiotic. But if it doesn't, he's going to call me back and give me a new prescription. So yeah, try to give her the medicine this morning, and she won't eat anything at all for like the past 2 days. And she threw up. It's like freaking out. Look at this. What is this? Thought there was like blood in it, but thinking I'm just being a little dramatic. Yeah. All my fault. Like I just attributed her higher temp to teething, maybe? I mean, she's still trying to cut like a few teeth, and her like not sleeping very well and just fidgety and like waking up crying after naps. I just thought it was like a toddler thing. It was a phase we were going through, but I should have known when I thought her pee smelled bad. Like, I've had enough UTIs to know that, like, that's a sign. So, anyways, suffering major mom guilt probably today and tomorrow and until she feels better. Thankfully, she's, like, the sweetest even when she doesn't feel good. Oh, baby. Also, when we went into the ER, he's like, well, why are you here? And I was like, she's got a fever. I think she has a UTI. And he was like, well, why do you think she has a UTI? Like, that's just, weird. I was like, I don't know, her pee smells like... I just have this feeling. And he's like, well, I think it's RSV or the flu or a cold, bronchitis, pneumonia. He's like, so I'm gonna do an RSV and flu test and an x-ray. And I'm like, okay, well, I want blood work and a urine test. And he's like, well, I can't just give you blood work. Like, there has to be a reason. I was like, okay, well, she has 103 fever. Like, that's a good enough reason. And he's like, well, urine tests, like, because she's still in diapers, we'd have to catheter her. I was like, yeah, I know, but we're gonna do a urine test. Like, just, it's gonna suck, but we're gonna do it. And it sucked. Don't get me wrong, it was horrible. Watching you go through that, it was so sad. But the RSV and the flu test came back negative. Her x-ray was clear, and he literally, this is what he says, I quote, walks into the room. Wow, Mama Bear, are you psychic? And I was like, no. Why? He's like, because it is a UTI. It's a really bad UTI. And I'm like, thanks. Thankfully, we have insurance now, and we didn't have to pay for all those tests that you just threw in because you didn't listen to me. Anyways. I'm always literally having to advocate for her at the hospital because doctors just don't, I don't know. My experience, they put people with Down syndrome in a very tiny box with their limited knowledge of Down syndrome and their actual experience with people with Down syndrome. And just because they have Down syndrome doesn't mean that they like fit the criteria for every medical condition you think that they have. Like, they're still different people. Like, they still react differently to things. Like, they're not all going to be the same book case scenario. Like, so anyways, that's just another part of this journey is literally I'm a very like, yeah. You tell them. You okay though? I'm a very like timid and shy person. Like, I just don't, for instance, if like my food is wrong in a restaurant, like I just don't say anything. It's like, I'll eat it, it's fine, whatever. You messed up, but I'm not gonna tell you messed up. But when it comes to my kid at the doctor's, like, I don't care. I've had enough dumb medical professionals that I'll put you in your place. I don't care. I know my kid better than you know my kid, or you think you know my kid. And, yeah, so if you're a medical professional watching this, which I'm sure you're not, what are you doing? Hi, come on. Then listen to your patient's, like, parent. We know stuff. We're not stupid.